Hello, and thank you very much for clicking on this movie review. I wanted to put this disclaimer out in front of the reviews that were going to be released this week because all of them deal with some would consider very sensitive material, especially what has happened in the last couple of weeks. This week I am scheduled to review all of the films in the Has Fallen trilogy, and all of them, of course, deal with the taking of the US president or taking of the White House, taking of Washington, D.C., which a couple of weeks ago was an actual reality due to some domestic terrorism. I film all these reviews in advance. That allows me to keep them coming out and being published on a regular basis for all of you. So I recorded all of these reviews before January 6th, when a bunch of terrorists decided to storm the Capitol because they were protesting because they lost an election, and their man lost an election and wouldn't concede to what is a fair election in every sense of the word. So that's why I don't comment on the events that happen. I actually think I make a couple of comments in these reviews this week that I'm scared and worried about anything that may happen during the inauguration. I wanted to release this in honor of our new president, Joe Biden, and thankfully he's taking office and maybe we can get back to some stability in the White House and in our government in this country, more so than what we've had in the last 4 years. But I think I make comments about how I'm just scared. Hey, I'm recording these ahead of time. I'm not sure if something does happen. And actually I'm recording this disclaimer well ahead of the inauguration. So hopefully these domestic terrorists that decided to storm the Capitol on January 6th don't try to take matters into their own hands again on January 20th. This is to honor all of these Secret Service members who dedicate their lives in protection of an office that should be viewed as an honorable position and very important. Definitely doesn't seem so, especially in the last 4 years. This channel is meant to be something that is fun, something that is honest when it comes to movies and film reactions, but I felt I would be doing myself a disservice by not addressing what has happened and the subject matter that is hitting so close to home now with what happens in these films to what is actually happening in real life today in this country. I think we have a lot of questions that we need to ask ourselves as a country and as a people. That these domestic terrorists were able to get all the way into the Capitol building, storming people's offices, and only a couple of people died. This was a Black Lives Matter protest. The casualties would have been tremendous, and we would have been seeing a lot more people lose their lives in the last couple of weeks. I think that's something that we need to ask ourselves as a country. You see a lot of news reports of people saying, how were these terrorists able to do this to the Capitol building? I think you just look at the color of their skin, and there's your answer right there. This country is not perfect. It's never been perfect, but it has been a beacon of hope and a beacon of fair democracy for the last couple of centuries, and that was in question a couple of weeks ago. I'm angry, and I'm sad, and I just want to hold those domestic terrorists and everyone who supported and fanned the flames and entertained the idea of fraudulent elections and entertained the warped demonic mind of Donald Trump. Anyone that entertained him should be held accountable. I try not to be political on this channel at all. This channel is meant to be a celebration of film. Film is a universal language. It allows us chances to escape. It allows us chances to search for knowledge, to search for education on maybe a certain subject matter or a morality issue or a political issue. It's just sometimes the subject matter of those films can hit hard to home, and I think these Has Fallen films will definitely do that for some people who may click on this review. I always sign off all my reviews with be well and be good to each other, and I don't think those words need to be said more than today. So before we get started, please be well, be good to yourself, and be good to each other. We can get through this, but in the meantime, hopefully you have a little fun by checking out the rest of this review. Take care, guys. Honey, give me some coffee, half and half, 3 packs of sweet and low. In a real cup, not one of those plastic ones. Let's talk about Olympus Has Fallen. Olympus Has Fallen, released in 2013, and is directed by Antoine Fuqua, who's also directed such films like Training Day, Tears of the Sun, King Arthur, Shooter, and Southpaw. And this film is starring the badass Gerard Butler, Aaron Eckhart, Morgan Freeman, Angela Bassett, and Rick Yoon. The South Korean Prime Minister is visiting the president in the White House today. Little does the Prime Minister know that a couple of his Secret Service agents have orchestrated a plot to take down the White House and to take the American American president hostage. This in order to liberate his homeland and to turn the United States into a nuclear wasteland. But what the bad guys don't know is that badass ex-Secret Service agent Mike Banning, played by Gerard Butler, is making his way to the White House to foil the terrorists' plot. The movie was released in 2013, but it's nice to get that sense of old 90s action hero, everyman hero type film every once in a while. If this movie would have been released in the 90s, Gerard Butler would be a huge megastar right now. He's doing just fine. He's in a lot of things. He's in a lot of movies that come out on an annual basis. I know. But he would be like Stallone, Keanu Reeves, Schwarzenegger level if this movie came out in the 90s. Because this thing has everything a 90s baby like myself wants. Explosions, great hand-to-hand combat, and the best witty one-liners a badass Secret Service agent can give. I remember watching trailers when this thing was coming out, and I was just thinking, this is just another generic action movie. I'll eventually see it, yes, but I'm not running to the theater to see this thing. It's not happening. Plus, if I recall correctly, there was another White House film, White House Down, with Channing Tatum and Jamie Foxx that came out like within months of each other. So you had two White House explosion-y movies coming out at the same time. Which one you gonna choose? And between the two, I eventually chose to see this one, and I'm super happy that I chose to do that, because this movie is really badass. If you're a fan of just a ton of machine guns and explosions on screen, this film is for you. And in honor of our new president and inauguration week, I think it's the perfect film to watch. Gerard Butler never really did it for me as an action star up until this point when I saw this film. Yes, he was in 300, but all the other things that he was in, I just wasn't a fan of. But here they made him out to be the perfect soldier and the perfect Secret Service agent dude, and he has a franchise because of it. He is set for life. I think they want to do like 3 more of these Has Fallen films in the next several years, so he is golden. And he is golden in this movie. He is so cool. He's got the one-liners, he's very charming, but he's also believable in the role of being your common, everyday-looking Secret Service agent who knows a little bit more than maybe your standard Secret Service agent. And the way he goes about killing you, especially with a knife, not just with guns. He's a badass with guns, but when he has that knife, he doesn't just go for your stomach or your chest like we typically see in an action film, especially in the 80s. No, here, he will stab you quickly with a little tiny jab here in the quad. He will stab you in the armpit. Doesn't matter. It hurts to grab hold of them and close them. This guy's a total badass. And it's nice to see Aaron Eckhart on screen. Again, I still don't understand how he is not a bigger star than what he is right now. The man is a very talented actor. He definitely has that leading man look. I just don't understand how he's not someone who's like nominated for Best Actor in every single thing that he does. I don't get it. And here he plays a US president. It's nice to see someone of a younger age, or at least seemingly looks to be of a younger age as our American president. Yes, we are finally getting a new president in this country this year, thank God. However, he is also the oldest president that we've ever had. So it's nice to see someone that doesn't have a complete head of gray hair. His last name, though, is President Asher. I mean, how many times has Asher been a joke said in SNL in this universe? How many times? Seriously. And Morgan Freeman is here, who plays Speaker of the House Alan Trumbull, not Vice President. I thought he was Vice President. I haven't seen this film since it came out, so it's nice being reminded of the chain of command when it comes to our government. But there's a backup person that's supposed to be in charge. I'm glad it's Morgan Freeman. The movie is just an all-you-can-eat buffet of action movie whatever. Everything that you want out of an action movie is here. And the way that these terrorists take down the White House, it seems very believable that this would happen. I wonder if the actual Secret Service watched this movie and was like taking notes, or watching something and going, yeah, you think we don't have a gun there? We have a gun there. Oh, you don't think we have missiles there? We have several missiles there. If you cross that line, if you step there, you dead. The head terrorist also brags to the president once everything is done. He brags to him like, your army takes 15 minutes to get here. We took it down in 13. I wonder if the Secret Service was like, damn it, how do they know that? Gotta make it faster. Shit. So if this film had the potential of beefing up our Secret Service agency for our president and for our government, then 2 thumbs up and kudos to this movie. Way to go, guys. However, I cannot put my thumbs way up when it comes to the visual effects of this movie. When we're doing our own stunts, when we're doing all of our hand-to-hand combat, this film looks great. But when we get to missiles launching, and when we get to planes flying overhead and crashing down, it looks like it was made in the 90s. And that's not a good 90s reference. But the movie, again, is badass. I think it's a hell of a time. These terrorists are actually, like, really good terrorists. Like, they actually hit people. They're not stormtroopers and they can't hit their target. They hit almost all of their targets. They're really, really good. Definitely not good as Mike Banning, though, who is just a total badass in every sense of the word. I do have to give a quick shout out, though, to my favorite character in this entire movie. I don't know his actual character's name in the film, and I'm not going to look it up, because to me, he is only scrunchy face. He's sitting in the war room with Morgan Freeman, he's looking at the screen, he's looking at the situations, and all he is doing is, "It's gonna detonate every nuclear bomb that we have in this country!" He made that face throughout the entire movie. I love him. Guys, I definitely recommend Olympus Has Fallen. There's very little to nitpick about this thing, only with the visual effects. Everything else here, I think the situation is believable. We have a great lead character, lead protagonist here that you don't think is a jackass in any way. I feel for him every single second that he is on screen. I love this movie. It's one of the best action movies in the last decade, in my opinion. I'm gonna give Olympus Has Fallen 4.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
It's good. It's good.
So guys, on Wednesday we are going to be continuing our inauguration week with the Has Fallen trilogy, and we're going to be talking about London Has Fallen on Wednesday. Of course, Wednesday is the actual inauguration here in America with our new president who beat out the old one. Oh, thank God. So we'll continue these reviews in honor of this great event. If any of you have recommendations of films that you want me to review on here, you can leave your recommendation below this video, or go to my Facebook page, my Instagram, or my Twitter, leave your recommendation there, and if I have access to it, I will watch, review it, and give you a shout on the channel. And if you really want me to do your recommendation as quickly as I possibly can, bypass the whole random generator, you can make a PayPal donation on the main page of my YouTube channel. Any size donation will do. Just attach your movie with your donation, and if I have access to it, I will watch, review it, and give you a shout on the channel. So guys, if you've seen Olympus Has Fallen, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before, and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button, and make sure you hit that bell so you'll the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time with my review of London Has Fallen. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.